Well, actually, it's good and bad. So,
Oh, damn it.
no, it's overall good. But I'm
Okay.
in Colorado. The predominant utility here is Xcel Energy, who I think is in 8 states from the Midwest
Yeah.
to the West. They're a
Yeah.
big, evil, big utility,
Yeah, they
but
are.
they did say they want to spend $102 million in Colorado building EV charging stations, which is kind of cool, right? Um, Apparently, they had the law changed in 2019. So up until 2019, a utility could not own and operate a charging station. They felt that was a conflict of interest. So they basically did some shenanigans with the state PUC, and now they said, well, we're going to put in all these stations, and we're going to incentivize people to charge after hours, and you know, promote electric cars. That's awesome. In the fine print of the article, they basically says Xcel Energy has proposed an additional charge on customers' monthly bills, a rider to recover its costs. So what they're really saying is they're going to spend $102 million to put in EV chargers, but they're going to make everybody who's an Xcel customer pay for it.
Yeah.
Which again is great to see more EV charging stations. Not so great for them to kind of sneak it in and get reimbursed to do it. But anything that makes it easier to own an EV is a good thing. The state itself says they want to have, in 2023, 5% of the vehicles available to be EVs. And by the end of by 2030, they want to have almost 1 million EVs in Colorado, which I find insane because our population is maybe 5 million, 6, something like that. So
Everybody
that's a
gets
ton
an
of
EV. You get an EV.
Yeah, you get an EV, you get an EV. But anyway, it is cool that utilities are seeing a business case in developing and deploying charging stations, because they want to sell their electrons, and this is one other avenue to do it.
The only part of that I didn't care for was the chargeback. I mean, my previous utility company charged us $9 billion for a nuclear plant that we didn't get. They dug a hole in the ground and then they filled the hole back in and stuck us the bill.
And you're still paying for it, yeah.
Well, not anymore. I left state.
Well, that's their business model. Is the PUC says, well, you can make this much profit. They say, well, we got to invest this much money in this infrastructure. They say, okay, well, you can charge a bit more to cover that infrastructure, and then they hopefully make money selling the energy to the users. But as you can imagine, the utility has the right of ways. They know the permitting process. They can put in a charging station a lot quicker than any other private company can. They know how the game works, and they know where everything is, and they can grease things through their systems. So ultimately, it should benefit the consumer, but I'm not a fan of all the consumers paying for it.
Did they mention what they were doing for multifamily and off-street parking, or on-street parking, I should say?
They want to, that's kind of vague, but they want to talk about multi-dwelling unit charging, and I guess eventually, like I know in Berkeley, California, they have street chargers that you park on the street and run. There's a post, between the sidewalk and the street that you can run a cord into your car from.
Yeah.
So stuff like that would be cool.
I like that European
implementations.
Where you take your cord and plug it in.
Yeah, they literally have the plugs in the streetlights. They're already powering the streetlights, and you just put a plug right there, and then now you can plug in your car. The only part that scares me about that is having my charger out and exposed for someone to steal or something overnight.
Profit. But in the end game, if you're a Joe consumer and you see all these charging stations going around, you say, maybe I should get one of these newfangled electric cars because I can plug it in everywhere in my neighborhood.
No more trips to the gas station. That's at the grocery store, my job, my house. Yeah. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.